Today we're going to be doing a reliving the top 5 moments of the 2022 MLB season, few minutes, and then we're going to get right into it and talk about the best moments of this past MLB season and looking forward to the next. So send this link to your friends, and just join them that I'm live right now, and then I'll be starting in a few minutes. See you then. Hey guys, the might be a little glitchy, so just let me know if that's happening, and I can try and troubleshoot that. I'm gonna get a new like a lot more improved mic soon. Maybe I can get that hooked up tonight. All right. Hey, tell me if you can hear me better. Just hooked up a new mic, so tell me if this. And we'll get started in about 30 seconds to a minute. Hang in there, and let's get ready for a good vid. Okay, guys, let's get started. So now we're gonna go through, as I said before, we're gonna relive the top 5 moments of the 2022 MLB season. I'm not able to play the actual clips because that's technically copyright, so I'm just gonna describe and talk about them in detail. And anything else you guys want me to know, if you want me to give you a shout out, something like that, leave that in the chat. Questions, feedback, anything. And then we're about to get started. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, send it to your friends, family, whatever, and recommend the channel to them. And we are now going to get started. I will just present my screen. Give me a sec. Uh, we're going to share. I'm going to talk about MLB news that has currently happened in the past few days. I won't talk about. Um, Here, I'll reformat this. Okay, there we go. I won't be talking about I know I haven't done a live stream in a while. I mean, it's been a crazy time probably for everyone. But I won't be talking about the MLB news from the winter meetings because that's so distant. You probably have heard about that. But I'm going to be talking about like this Gene Segura news, Corey Kluber, possible Brian Reynolds trade, all this new stuff, what's going on with the Carlos Correa news, and I guess let's get into it. So first off, tonight around like 5 o'clock, we found out Gene Segura, who's a two-time All-Star, uh, played I think most of his career with the Phillies, maybe played somewhere else before. He just signed a 2-year, $17 million deal with the Miami Marlins. I don't know if this includes an opt-out or anything. Um, Segura is a pretty good all-around hitter. You can put him really anywhere in the lineup. He has decent power. He can be like a leadoff hitter. He can get on base. He is, I think, a double machine. And it says he's played 11 years in the MLB, two-time All-Star, as I said. Uh, and those are his career stats right there. Stat line. Um, let's see. Yeah, there. So I can look at that. So now he's going to the Marlins, so I think that's actually a pretty good fit for them. I don't know if that's uh, I don't know if the Marlins needed a second baseman because they have Khalil Watson in their farm system, and they have uh, Jazz Chisholm Jr., who's like one of the best uh, second baseman in baseball. Oh, now we're asking for a face reveal in the chat. I don't think that's gonna happen. At Ash in the chat, shout out to Ash. We're there. Uh, okay, let's get back to it. So I don't know if this deal includes an opt out. Uh, but let's see. Miami's infielders are Miguel Rojas, Joey Wendell, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Then they have Brian Anderson, who they non-tendered this year. So like Miguel Rojas is a pretty good shortstop, so I don't know if he'll be moved to the DH role or if he'll be moved somewhere else. But now that they have Segura and Chisholm, and then they have Watson coming up in the next few years, I don't know what they're going to do with their middle infield situation. So that's all for the Segura news that really have to cover. Then this morning, Corey Kluber signed with the Boston Red Sox. If any of you guys are Red Sox fans, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing. He was with the Yankees last year, and he had a pretty decent year. He, let's see, he signed a 1-year, $10 million deal this morning with the Sox, and it has a club option for next year, for the 2024 season of 11 million a year. I think he's like 36 years old, so I don't know if you'd consider that ancient, no, maybe for baseball. But the Red Sox have had a very confusing offseason, which is like they lost Xander Bogarts, but then and there are talks if they don't extend Rafael Devers that he'll go into free agency next season. Uh, but they did sign Masataka Yoshida, who's one of the best power and like all around hitters from Japan. They signed him, and then they signed Justin Turner, former Dodgers veteran infielder. So those are two good moves. And then they added Kenley Jansen, Chris Martin, and Joel Rodriguez. Kenley Jansen being the most notable of those. And they've had a very weird offseason by, like, getting some good players, but then losing their best player. And, let's see, anything else on the Red Sox, I heard, that they would be open to trading, Chris Sale, which, I mean, his contract is atrocious, like, I think it's 30 something $1 million a year, and he only played in, like, 1 or 2 games last season. Same thing like Steven Strasburg's contract. which, like and maybe, like, that's a horrible contract. I don't know if anyone would be willing to take that on as a contract, but, we'll see. And then, in the Carlos Correa news, if you didn't know, I won't go into total details, but about 2 weeks ago, Carlos Correa signed a two-year deal, or not two-year deal, what am I saying? 13 year, $350 million deal with the Giants. And as a Giants fan, I was so excited about this. I know there was his injury history, and uh, there that 13 years is a lot of time for a player that would be like 40 or 41 at the end of the contract. But I was just so excited that we may finally get our superstar face of the franchise. And that lasted about a week until the Giants something came up in the physical. I don't know if it's still undisclosed or if something has come up about it. But Carlos Correa, then the Giants backed out of the deal with him, and then, like I think within the next 30 minutes or an hour, he signed with the Mets, and now the Mets are also beginning to question his physical. I think it was something like 10 years ago when he was in the minors. There was something that came up on like with his ankle or leg or shin, something like that. Um, Something like that, which is affecting, I guess, the Mets, who feels like they have infinite money. I guess they are also looking at his physical. So I don't and I saw it was like a 55% chance Correa signs with the Mets and that they are feeling optimistic but don't know about his injury. So in the chat, let me know where you think Correa may sign if the Mets back out of this deal also. Maybe it's like I know the Red Sox weren't completely sold on Trevor Story becoming a full-time shortstop. But maybe a team like I'm trying to think. What's a team in need of a shortstop? Give me a sec. Uh, Maybe someone like the Rockies. I know he wouldn't want to join. That's crazy, but he probably wouldn't want to join the Rockies. But like Chris Bryant, they have a decent farm. Um, and then what's another team? I can't really think of anything right now of teams in need of shortstops. So I'll let you know if I can think of something. Okay. So in other news, I don't know if there's a lot more in MLB that's happened since almost every MLB player is or almost every good MLB free agent is gone. That mainly happened at the winter meetings. We can just take a look at this. Who will win the awards for 2023? Something to look at. And they're predicting American League MVP Ramirez could happen. The Guardians made major upgrade. Ronald Acuna Jr. He'll be back better than ever. Cy Young, Christian Javier. That's a very bold prediction. I mean, he did have maybe more of a dark horse pick, but he did have um, a very crazy performance in the uh, World Series when he pitched the no hitter in the World Series. But I don't think that'll happen, but possibly. And then we have Zach Gallen. Let's see. They're saying manager of the year, Alex Cora, um, Tony Lavillo, uh, and then for the D backs, and then rookie of the year, they're saying Gunnar Henderson. I agree with that. National League Rookie of the Year, I'm gonna say they're saying Jordan Walker. I'm gonna say actually Kyle Harrison. I know like Jordan Walker. I've heard. I don't know if he'll come up right away. I don't know if Kyle Harrison will come up right away either. But um, Kyle Harrison is one of the top or the top left pitching prospect in all MLB. And I think that him he would have, very much help the Giants. I mean, he's a Giants prospect, so I think he would very much help the Giants with their whole rotation, which is looking a little bit better, but maybe a little worse since they lost Rodon. Um, so let's see what else. There's also like Frankie Alvarez, Corbin Carroll, a lot of prospects. Um, let's see what else. Again, just let me know anything, any comments you have, any uh, anything in the chat. Um, so now we're gonna go into the top five, reliving the top five biggest moments of the 2023 MLB season. Let me just pull those up. Give me a second. While I'm doing that, just so you know, I just got a PC, so you can be expecting in the next like week or two, something like that, like gameplay of MLB The Show. I put out like a poll the community on the community tab on saying the what's it called, like what kind of gameplay you guys might want to put out. But and I think most of you guys were saying like franchise rebuild, so I could get those for you. Um, I could do those for you. And if you have any other suggestions for what kind of gameplay, leave that in the chat right now. Pull this up. Okay, almost got it. Okay. Let me just share this tab. Sorry for the delay. Okay, share this tab. Okay. So Christian Javier is our first moment that we're going to be reliving for the 2022 season. If you didn't know, in Game 4 of the World Series against the Phillies, Christian Javier pitched a no hitter, or pitched I think 7 innings of, or 6 or 7 innings of a no hitter against the Phillies, which I think was the second first no hitter in World Series history. And it was, I mean, there was the perfect Don Larson's perfect game in like 1950 something, but this was the first no hitter, I'm pretty sure, in World Series history, which is pretty cool that Javier got that and that we got to live that in the 2022 MLB season. So the game started out. I'm not sure. Not remembering what the final score was. Um, the manager said it was a must-win scenario for the Astros. It was a 2-2 series because it was, and uh, yeah, the Astros had tied the series 2-2 in the best of seven Fall Classic. They needed this one too. In medical, no, not medical. In media circles, it's a bit of a running joke to ask managers if a game is a must-win. In all likelihood, the Astros didn't come into Game 4 of the World Series trailing 2-1 to the Phillies in the best of seven series, thinking it was a must-win game. But man, they sure needed it. Falling down 3 games to 1 with Game 5 being played in Philadelphia would have been a very bad idea. No worries, starting pitcher Christian Javier said with his right arm. I mean, we just saw in that article they were predicting him to win Cy Young. I think that might be a little bit of an overstatement, but you never know. He's a pretty good pitcher. The Phillies offense came back from a 5-0 deflect to win Game 1 of the World Series, uh, and pounded homers for 7 runs in Game 3, which was uh, Game 3 was stifling from the get go by Javier. He dominated. He got through 6 innings. Yeah, it was 6 innings without having allowed a hit and letting just 2 hitters reach base. So the final stat line looks like it was 6 innings pitched, No hits, no runs, uh, 2 walks, that's why it wasn't a perfect game, and 9 strikeouts, and then he was taken out, looks like after 97 pitches of 6-inning no-hit baseball, and then I'm pretty sure they brought in after that, they brought in, Rafael Montero, maybe Brian Abreu, was it Brian Abreu, maybe? I think so. And then after that, they brought in Ryan Presley, who was like a literally a resting heart rate of 2. He's always calm, during, like, world's any game. Uh, so that, Ryan Presley is very good, uh, and he got the save for that game, and the Astros won that, in the first World Series no-hitter in history, which was a very cool moment for, the MLB. So next moment that we have, number 4, what should number 4 be? I'm trying to decide. Um, let's see. Uh, let's see. Give me a second. One sec. Trying to see. This one, just so you know, is a Shohei Ohtani moment. Okay, here we see. Sorry for the delay. Let me just find this Shohei Ohtani thing. I might just not be able to find like an article about it, but I can describe it basically. So, basically a night in either late April or early May, Shohei Ohtani hit, I think it was 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. And then and that was a crazy performance. I think he went 4 for 4 or something like that. And then the next day, he pitched a masterpiece with 13 strikeouts and 13 strikeouts, and I think it was like 8 innings pitched, and he was unstoppable. And I think the only reason he didn't win the MVP award was because Aaron Judge had a crazy season, which is one of the moments we're going to be getting to in a minute. So let's see. The next moment that we're going to be covering was let's see. Give me a minute. Okay. Just give me like 30 more seconds so I can get this done. All right, so there are obviously like lots of crazy moments that happened in the MLB season. Like, I'll give some honorable mentions, like Stephen Vogt, like in his last at bat of his MLB career, he had a home run for the A's. That was great. There were lots of first at bat home runs, stuff like that. Um, Maybe I'll talk about, it's not a moment in particular, but just a whole season of Julio Rodriguez, J Rod, the J Rod Show. He was unbelievable. Uh, he had one of the best rookie seasons, all around rookie seasons in a long time. I think it was him and Bobby Witt Jr. They both had at least 20 home runs and 20 steals. Rodriguez had like 28 home runs, 20 something steals. And so I think both of them, especially Julio, will be major like future MVP contenders. And J Rod, he'll probably be up there for one of the best baseball players like currently active. And he was outstanding offensively, on and off the field, probably. And he was just a really fun guy, swag, all that. Um, and then I'll give some more honorable mentions. J Rod was number three. O'Neal Cruz came up, I think last year he technically made his debut, but in 2022 season, he hit a ball. I think it was 122 miles an hour, which broke the record for in the modern baseball era for the fastest hit ball, or fastest exit velocity of baseball. Uh, and just before I forget, make sure to comment any questions, any other moments I might be missing, anything like that. Um, let's see. Um, and then other clips I'm thinking. Maybe like Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina. They made their, I think it was 325th start as a battery, like pitcher catcher combo, and Yachty just retired. So, and this broke the record for most not consecutive, but most total starts by a pitcher and a catcher ever. Um, and then I'm thinking of others. Um, well, I mean, Byron Buxton turned triple play as a center fielder, which was crazy. Talked about Shohei Ohtani's masterpiece, the so many great moments. Uh, the Mariners making their first playoff appearance since 2001, which was a great moment for them. I mean, Kyle Schwarber had a great year. All these players with like 40 plus home runs. I think it was just Schwarber. Maybe others. Jordan had a great year. And then, so now I'll go to number two and number one, and then we'll probably wrap the video up, kind of. So at number two, I have Albert Pujols hitting his 700th home run, becoming the fourth member of the 700 hit club. So I'll switch the screen just to Albert Pujols 700 home run screen if I can. I'll share this. So this is the Albert Pujols 700th home run. This was his last season, and he became the fourth member of the 700 home run club. And what just happened to the computer? Okay. So let's see. It was a Friday night in LA, and Albert Pujols made his return, I guess, to LA. And he made his return to LA and hit number 699, hit number 699 for home runs. And then he also hit number 700 in the same night, which number 700 came off Phil Bickford in the I'm not sure what inning, but Pujols moment was crazy. Wish I could show you guys, but for copyright reasons, I'm not allowed. So that was the second best moment in MLB, or in the MLB this year. So please, guys, anyone watching, please feel free to chat live. Uh, and let's see, next thing. Um, and then the last person, I'll pull up another uh, Aaron Judge. Obviously, I mentioned it earlier. Aaron Judge. I mean, I'm obviously not as big of a fan because of Aaron Judge anymore because I'm a Giants fan, but still, his um, 62 home run season was is unforgettable and will go down. I mean, he has the AL home run record uh, for most home runs in American League history, so that's a crazy feat for him. So Aaron Judge hit his 62nd home run ball, and I believe it was just sold for like $1.5 million by the guy who caught it at an auction. So I personally, I mean, you guys in the chat, what would you have done if you had caught the ball? Would you have sold it? Would you have kept it? Would you have given it to Aaron Judge, like the guy who caught his 60th? What would you have done with it? I'll just give you guys a minute to respond to that. Okay, just give you guys a minute, like 10 more seconds maybe. Um, okay. Oh, shout out to the baseball kid in the chat. Um, he says I would have given it to Judge for season tickets. Oh, that's a good idea. Like maybe like season tickets for since it's such a milestone home run ball, maybe like season tickets for like 10 the next 10 years or something, and then like autograph and pictures. I like that thinking. Nice. And then that basically wraps up the video. So we're trying to let's see, we're trying to get to uh I mean, I want to get to 400 subscribers by the end of the year. I mean, 2022 is coming to a wrap fast. Maybe I'll try and make a 2022 wrap video of baseball. And that basically brings us to a close. So if you guys have any last comments, anything, please let me know. Anything, please remember to subscribe. Subscribe, I guess, on alt accounts, all different accounts, and just everything. Currently, our subscriber count is at 318. So thank you guys, all 318 of you, and future subscribers, and anyone watching throughout this stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. You will probably see lots of more activity from me in the next few days. Maybe a live stream here and there. And just have a good night. And I'll see you guys, and I'll post some more good vids tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later. Bye.